One of the like truly insidious parts about all this is these motherfuckers are so rich. Like if you've got 20 million subs on YouTube, you're a millionaire. Like you're making millions of dollars every single year on top of the sponsorships, on top of the winnings you get, on top of everything else. Like you're making 10 million plus a year. Why did you need to scam your fans on top of everything else? Like you're already a multi-millionaire. Why did you need to take like millions of your fans and just fucking hold them upside down and shake them for every last fucking cent? I could be a Fortnite gamer. All right, let's learn. Let's learn along.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another interview on the Rational National.
Hey, Matt Binder. Everyone, we love Matt. Matt's good people.
I am joined now by journalist and host of the podcast Doomed, Matt Binder. Matt, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here with you, David.
So I read this piece by you in Mashable that really pissed me off.
I should play it again. I played it for the first time with Marcus of Left Flank Vets when I was doing that charity stream, and it was a blast. I had a great time being a Fortnite gamer. I did a triple kill. I killed everyone else on the other team, and I didn't even have a great gun or perhaps the skills to do so. But I took down their entire team, just me. I got a taste for blood. I got blood drunk. You know, it was wild. I wasn't building. I don't even know how to build yet. I just sat there and then fucking headshots all around. It was glorious.
We'll get into why, but it's titled Inside
Squad Flush. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I flushed that squad. I flushed it right down the turlet. Yeah, there was no more. They were all flushed.
Inside the shady world of influencers promoting cryptocurrency. Now, this...
Okay, hold up. If this is going to go the way I think it's going to go, let no one distract you from the fact that the revolution will only take place after all of us have invested in Surfcoin. Remember that, okay? Don't stop putting your tangible assets into Surfcoin. Every single dollar you have, if you put it into Surfcoin, soon we can inflate the price of Surfcoin to the level that we will have to start the revolution, okay? I don't want to hear any, oh, this is all part of some giant pyramid scheme, Lance. Oh, you're just trying to take all our money and then you're going to run away with it all. No, Surfcoin is the revolution, comrades, all right? And we've said this for a while. Invest in Surfcoin. It's the only way forward. Is it a proof of work or is it a stake coin? It's a surf coin. It's all.
This is something that, you know, I had kind of noticed on the internet. A lot more people, a lot more influencers talking about cryptocurrency for whatever reason. And reading your piece, I begin to understand why. It's because they're making a lot of money off of what they're doing. So before we even get into what your piece details, I guess just maybe for, you know, anyone that's new to cryptocurrency, do you have like a quick overview of what cryptocurrency is and then how these new these altcoins or meme coins play into all this as well?
Sure. I think most people by now have heard of the big cryptocurrencies, you know, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, even Dogecoin, which is the meme-based one that all these altcoins have been taking a page out of. And we'll get to that in a second. But cryptocurrency is basically this decentralized, or their advocates call it decentralized, form of, you know, digital currency, basically, where it's, you know, when you send Bitcoin to someone or Ethereum to someone, it's all basically written down on a blockchain, which is basically like an online ledger that follows where all this Bitcoin or Ether or whatever it may be, whatever cryptocurrency we're talking about, goes. It tells you like which wallet is holding how much and follows those transactions. And, you know, there seems to be some good use cases for this type of thing, the blockchain that is. But with cryptocurrency, being that you could actually exchange what is essentially digital numbers for actual real world US dollars, it's brought all the scammers out of the woodwork. And now they're creating altcoins, which are, like I said, it's big inspiration from Dogecoin, where people decide I'm creating a form of cryptocurrency, brand new Bitcoin, a brand new Dogecoin. And
oh, Jack, I don't need a domain name. Surfcoin is life, all right? It both exists as a blockchain-based cryptocurrency pyramid scheme, but also it lives within our hearts, every single one of us. Like when you wake up in the morning, are you Surfcoin? I mean, I hope all of you change your social media avatars and logos to Je suis Surfcoin. That's part of the revolution, comrades. Je suis Surfcoin. It wasn't just the surf coins, it's the friends we made along the way.
and I'm going to try to give it some sort of marketing scheme, some sort of new meme-based gimmick that gives it its own sort of push to people, like sort of like collectibles. You know, you like one thing because it has a gimmick to it. And the fact of the matter is, it seems like almost all of these altcoins go down hard, whether it's intentional or not.
Yeah, so this is where we get into, I guess, how they're promoting all these new meme coins, or I like how you refer to as shit coins. I think that's a good explanation of what these really are. But so a lot of them appear to be going to influencers. One example is, I guess, Faze Clan, which is a big professional esports and entertainment group, where a lot of their members were pushing, I guess, in one example, Save the Kids token, which makes it sound like almost a charity. I mean, get more into, I guess, Faze Clan and what that, what they were pushing and what that whole thing happened
right.
there.
So Faze Clan, like I say in the piece, they're sort of having a big moment right now. Last year, they received something like $40 million in funding because a lot of investors see a future in esports being taken as serious as a sports profession. And they also were just this month on the cover of Sports Illustrated magazine, which is a big deal. I mean, this puts them in their world at the same level of, you know, the LeBron James of the world. And they are probably one of the major pushers of these altcoins I've seen online. Now, granted, this is a organization with dozens and dozens of members, but this also goes to one of the founders of the group who was pushing a coin. He didn't do Save the Kids, but he was also pushing a coin, did a giveaway for them. That altcoin even admitted that they worked with him. We're talking about Faze Banks. They admitted they worked with him to push the coin, and it went bad because the value dropped almost immediately after Faze Banks was promoting it, which means his followers likely, and all the other influencers were promoting it at the same time, all their followers bought into it. It hit its peak. The people who actually were holding most of this altcoin, usually the developers or their friends, not going to say that's what happened in this specific case, but this is usually how altcoins work.
Wow, it's almost like the whole thing was just a massive pyramid scheme, you know? It's kind of what it sounds like. Not like Dogecoin. Dogecoin, of course, had you know, Jesus Cristo himself promoting it. And then once he had artificially inflated the price of Dogecoin, and then of course had that incredible Saturday Night Live performance, at which point the value of Dogecoin just fell off the fucking face of the earth. Not because a whole bunch of people were just selling off their assets that they'd artificially inflated to this huge amount, but because of magic.
Work and their rollouts happen. They hit a peak. The people who are holding most of this coin decide this is where we're going to cash out, and they get all the real money from it, selling their coins, which then completely tanks the value for all the other holders. And then they're left holding the bag. And let's say they put $100 into it. There goes $100, turns into $650, maybe $2.
Some people have trouble understanding sarcasm. Oh, all right. Allow me to be perfectly frank then. Surfcoin does not exist. There's no such thing. I was making it up. And I was parodying the fact that people are actually trying to sell cryptocurrency as a viable form of an investment through their multiple huge platforms, and then using it to get their fans, their adorating fans, to take their credit cards out and just run to the fucking cryptocurrency markets. Like, can you imagine how many times there's probably like, Mommy, can I use your credit card? Well, why? Why would you ever need my credit card? Because I need to invest in Faze coin. I need to buy Faze coin, please. Let me buy that Faze. I need to save the kids. I'm gonna be rich.
$2, maybe $10 if they're lucky. You know, the value drops tremendously. And obviously, as we go up, you know, imagine putting $1,000 into this. If your favorite influencer said like, hey, this could be the next Dogecoin, you're gonna make a lot of money from this. But Save the Kids, that is a really special case, in my opinion, because these Faze Clan members, there are multiple ones. FaceK is a major pusher of a lot of altcoins. He was on this one. Faze Nikon, there were a few others. Faze Jarvis, I believe, and also another YouTuber who's big in that world, RiceGum. They basically were on their on Save the Kids website as ambassadors, and they filmed a video promoting this coin.
Jesus.
And it's attached with the gimmick of 1 to 3% of transactions with that coin would be taxed, and that money would go to charity. Now,
yeah, Taylor, just ask one of the mods. They'll help you out. Imagine getting rich saving the kids. Well, okay, so here's the thing. If you don't understand how a lot of these things work, I mean, I should say that they're less of They're less of a pyramid scheme and more of a Ponzi scheme, in the sense that they get people to invest huge amounts of money, real cash. And when you invest in something like Dogecoin, you invest a ton of real world money. You're investing in the Doge. All is great and good. All of a sudden, the people who have the most amount of money in those cryptocurrencies, typically it's a very small amount of people, just similar to stocks. People will have a huge amount of investment in a certain cryptocurrency. Like the majority of Bitcoin is actually owned by a very small percentage of people. In the case of Doge, it's owned by an even smaller percentage of people. Those people can influence the price and value of Doge simply by pulling in and out their huge assets. So if they move $10 million out of Doge, the price of Doge will then dip like that. If they add $10 million, the price and value of Doge goes up like this. So they can manipulate these markets in the same way people used to be able to manipulate the stock markets. But what is now illegal to do in the stock markets is perfectly legal to do in the cryptocurrency markets. And the super fucked up thing about all of this is that not only is there no regulation over any of this, it's that you can do it 24/7. Because they don't shut down and start up. So people at any given time of the day can suddenly manipulate entire markets and make huge amounts of money, sometimes to the tune of billions of dollars, crash and fall based on this entire system.
If you're someone who is not aware of these schemes, you probably hear, oh, charity, this is good. This is something that could take off. But what it really is, I mean, I spoke with an expert on this, and these sort of schemes really are Ponzi schemes because you're investing.
What the fuck? Computer coin made by Staten Island's #1 crane operator. Money that can't be stolen at the docks. I'm gonna buy the New York Jets. These coins are 100% online. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. There's there's one noble cryptocurrency out there. There you go.
And then they are taking out your money to give to somebody else who then proceeds to cash in and lowers the value of your coin, of your investment, I should say. And, you know, but that aside, though, this never even got to that point, really. I don't know how much they actually ended up donating to charity, how far that got, because this is a altcoin that launched on June 5th. And it went up to, I believe it was a high of 2 cents, which for people who aren't familiar, they might just be saying 2 cents, but a lot of these altcoins, they have a high supply. So when people buy in, they get a large number of it.
Yeah, like trillions.
The higher supply, the less USD value it has. We're talking like,
oh yeah, Cumcoin. I can't forget Cumcoin.
Value of like 0.000000015 in like US currency, fiat currency.
Oh, thanks, Scooby.
It helps because it makes people think, oh, I'm holding like a billion Save the Kids coins. I feel rich. So, you know, a coin like this going up to 2 cents could be a lot. And what happened was June 5th, it hit its peak, 2 cents on launch day. All these big influencers were pushing it that day. It immediately, just within hours, tanks. And so people have already down money. I believe it was if you put $100 into that one, you had $6 today. You have $6 today. Wow. But June 17th, we're talking just a few weeks later, in their Telegram channel, a lot of these altcoins have Telegram channels where they make these announcements. They don't do it on mainstream social media platforms where they also usually have an account. They announced that at least the administrator of the account, of the Telegram account, says, hey, so the founders have disappeared on us. They've taken the funding. The developer they contracted has no idea what to do. He's trying to see what can be done, looking for someone else to put money into this. But basically, it's a dead project. So whatever you invested into this coin, it's pretty much worthless now. It's going nowhere. Now, again, it's unclear if they've ever even donated money to the charities. Whatever they did donate, it certainly wasn't all that much. Again, 1 to 3%.
Wow.
Whatever the peak was.
God damn. That's savage.
Of that value is not very much, maybe a couple of tens of thousands of dollars, if that much. And again, who knows if they even donated that to whatever charity they claim they would donate it to.
Yeah. So,
damn. I mean, I think on the surface level, since none of this is regulated, none of it is technically illegal, there should be, if there's team sports, if there's famous athletes who are using their platforms to do this, there should be some kind of oversight or regulation of that on some level. Because, like, again, kids have no idea about what's happening. They just love Faze, and just like, they're my favorite gamers, and they're telling me to invest in Save the Kid coin. Why shouldn't I put like $100 into that right now? Even though that'll turn into $6 overnight.
Of the worst influencer scam I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of them, okay? I'm practically a connoisseur at this point, a specialist in influencer scams, if you will. So believe me when I tell you that. So today I'm gonna be giving you the short version and then the full juicy story of the new allegations coming out on, quote, Save the Kids token. We already know that Save the Kids was a failed crypto pushed by some of the top influencers on YouTube. If you haven't already seen my video, it's right here. You can also watch Mudahar's video on this. We've covered this in great detail. But what no one knows is whether any of these influencers knew it was going to be a scam ahead of time. They can and have claimed plausible deniability, one of them saying, quote, "I have no ill intent promoting any crypto altcoins. It was all a big mistake. They are victims just like the other people." Today, I will be showing that this was a complete lie because I traced some of these influencers' crypto wallets and will be revealing what they did with the crypto coins they've promoted to you and are now trying to hide the evidence now that it's all coming out. I will also be showing you hard proof that this Save the Kids token wasn't designed to benefit kids. I will show you in the literal code of the coin itself that it was designed from the outset with the intention to extract money from these influencers' fans and followers. Let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the $10 million studio. I'm your host, CoffeeZilla, the internet detective. And wow, there's no way to make this a short story. So we're gonna start this case at the beginning. A month ago, a friend of mine reached out to me and told me about a failed crypto project called Save the Kids token. That wasn't that surprising. I get tips all the time, and I just sort of shelved the project while working on my Tether investigation. But something they had said had stuck with me. They had told me that several huge influencers were on board with this one, making it different. FaceK, Faze Jarvis, Faze Tico, Faze Nikan, Rice Gum, Summer Ray. I mean, these are some big names here. Some of the biggest in the influencer
shit, 20 million plus subs?
world. Together, they have well over 50 million followers between them. So the fact that all these huge names are behind something made me want to revisit it. How could they allow themselves to promote something that fell so flat? As soon as it launched, it was dead on arrival. This got me interested, and it had me thinking. I had recently covered the Kim Kardashian promotion. I'd seen the Floyd promote crypto, and I was starting to wonder how much money is actually involved in this stuff, right? How much are people paid to do this? I mean, I'm sure these influencers love kids as much as the next guy, but you're not going to do a commercial like this for free.
My name's Frazier.
My name's Jarvis.
I'm Tico. I'm Rice Gum.
I'm Nikon.
And I support Save the Kids token.
Save the Kids token.
Save the Kids token.
Save the Kids token. Save the Kids token.
So I
Oh no. Oh shit, that looks bad now.
decided to look into it. The first thing I did was go to their PostMortem on Save the Kids Hack MD article. They wrote some article basically explaining why it all failed. They said in a post, the most important thing to state here is that ambassadors of Save the Kids are not paid by us and are not given any kids tokens. Ambassadors didn't delete tweets and then dump their tokens as claimed in the Telegram, as ambassadors were never given any tokens. Any of our ambassadors are involved in our project because they have bought into and believe in our mission. Ah, yes, we'll come back to that later. They believe in helping kids. Remember that. So I'm thinking at this point, okay, they believe in the project. You're saying they weren't given any kids tokens, didn't delete any tweets, so why'd the project fail? Additionally, I read about something called the anti-whale anti-bot mechanism. This is essentially a piece of hard code that prevents large holders of a coin from selling out at once. And this piece of marketing was repeated over and over again. Anti-whale measures can't sell more than 0.1% or transfer it in 24 hours. No larger than 20% of a whale's botted wallet can be sold within 24 hours.
Seems fair.
And the whole idea here is to show people that this project is not going to be a quick rug pull, which in crypto is a term for when a project gets pumped and dumped immediately on arrival and is abandoned by large investors. And in their postmortem, they say these actual measures did indeed work as expected. It was audited by TechRate. But if everything worked as expected and these ambassadors were just in it for the kids, why did the project immediately crash? Was it an accident? I decided to investigate their Telegram to learn more, and I quickly realized the actual members were telling a very different story.
Oh my. So it's a pull and pray coin then. That's what this all was.
Members of the Telegram were panicking and insisting that millions were scammed. Faze team took the profit and left. Why would Faze risk their reputation for this? You guys do know Faze Clan has done multiple pump and dumps, right? LMAO, there's a reason all their tweets were removed after they sold out on launch. And usually you don't have a whole host of people accusing you of scamming if there was nothing fishy going around. So I decided to do some further digging, and this whole idea of ambassadors and not being given any coins turns out to maybe be wrong. According to the admin, they said, ambassadors bought in. We don't have their wallets. Don't know who bought or sold. Interesting, because earlier we were told they didn't sell. And then we get this news. Quote, we got confirmation from some of our ambassadors that they would not sell anything and simply bought pre-sale to support the project. If you don't know, pre-sale is a special access to people before the token becomes publicly available on the market. Typically, you get much better rates to buy at. But again, this idea that these influencers didn't get anything from this project other than just wanting to help the kids seems to be a little bit disingenuous, since it seems like some of them bought in. But again, we're reassured, look, they're not going to sell, right? So at this point, I'm thinking things are really fishy. So I reach out to Lucas, the developer. See, after the failure of Save the Kids and everything flopped, he was basically the last person still hanging around the project. And at first he seemed helpless, kind of like a fall guy, honestly. In a post, a moderator explains that Lucas is not the founder of this coin, even though he developed it. He says, quote, Lucas is a dev that was contracted till the 14th of June to write and set the foundation of this coin. Lucas chose to stay on and to work on this project on his own accord, whilst the others left, and he's not the owner of the coin. Fair enough. A little bit weird that we don't know who's responsible for this giant coin that's pushed by these huge celebrities, but fine. When I reached out, Lucas responded and was pretty eager to help, honestly.
I know it's just part of how he's setting this all up, but like none of that is fine. That's like, this is sketch all around. This is wild because it was done at such a high level. Like the fact that it was done by individuals who have some of the largest YouTube gaming platforms possible. This is an entire squad, right? The Faze squad, all these like superstar Fortnite gamers who are also like, you have to put money into our coin because we're gonna save the kids. We're gonna save those kids. Ooh woo, you know?
He had said he had been taking a break from Telegram. I said, no worries, thanks for reaching back out. I asked him, who is the true founder of Save the Kids? Because he just seems like a developer, but it seems like he would know. Was it FaZe Clan, influencer, the mob? Like,
oh, 100%. Oh yeah, Jimmy Dore's coming after the squad for this one. Yeah, of course.
See what they did? You see this here? Huh? All these coins, all this FaZe coin. This was AOC. You can see right there. Look.
Who's involved in this thing? I literally have no idea. He told me, I wish I could let you know, because I really don't. We kept talking, and he told me that he suspected foul play and that this was bigger than one crypto coin. My theory, a group of large money names are going around finding dev teams, finding promoters, and setting up a large hyped launch, then dipping initially. He also told me the only real contact he had was to a guy named Manny and H. I asked for their contact information. He said no clue. Blocked. I got blocked by all of the team, basically. All right, so at this point, I'm pissed, right? Like, here's this poor dev who gets made to be the fall guy for a token that like wasn't his idea. Seems like he got hired to do it. Now it's coming on him. So I'm like, look, can you think of any tie to the founders? You know, it only takes one clue to find everything. And he responds that he does have a clue. So I got tokenomics@gmail.com that sent me the contract, who I also emailed back my PayPal for the 10K they paid me. Then all the rest was from H on Telegram. Bingo. That's all we need. Tokenomics@gmail.com. That's the clue that's going to unravel everything. I start searching the internet, right? I get the computers running 24/7. It was all clocked in, but I can't find anything. This account is a ghost. Usually there are a few threads you can pull on, nothing. So then I contact my buddy, Barely Sociable. He starts digging around and pings me back with news I couldn't have ever expected.
The kid is lying. That email doesn't exist on PayPal. I used forgot password to check. According to PayPal, there's no account associated with that tokenomics@gmail.com.
That's something that I hadn't considered before. Maybe this developer, if he's a real person,
great voice,
he's lying to me and he's actually involved in sending me on some wild goose chase. I don't want to let him know I'm suspicious yet. So I start asking for, this contract that he seems to have signed. All of a sudden, he gets testy. He asks for a lawyer. Interesting. The next day, he makes it even more clear. He says, hey, Zilla, sorry. So my lawyer said don't share anything for now. And also, I'm not sure I'm willing to help out much more. Since your video has been up, I've gotten a lot of death threats, and somehow my family even got one. So I'm not looking to further involve myself. Sorry, hope you understand. Just as a quick caveat, I didn't mention Lucas in the video at all that he's talking about. I respond, Lucas, you need to talk, man. If you have nothing to hide, I can make sure you get fairly represented. But parts of your story aren't lining up, like this 10,000 from PayPal from tokenomics@gmail.com. I checked that email for PayPal. It doesn't exist. A couple hours later, he deleted his account. All these logs were saved in advance. And at this point, I'm pissed because I'm pretty sure that this kid is full of it or not.
Well, yeah, nothing more innocent than just, disappearing off the internet, just ask Virgil Texas.
Telling me the whole story of what he knows and is sort of trying to back out of this thing because I never mentioned him in my video. And he's sort of all of a sudden, as soon as I start asking bigger questions, he starts clamming up, talking about lawyers. And I'm still no closer to finding out the truth about what happened with Save the Kids. I mean, was it influencers? Was it this developer? Was it this anonymous founder, Mr. H? Like, who's behind it all? Who's responsible for this? In my first video I'd put out, I had called the coin a scam, but there's not much you can say as far as did they sell, didn't they? It sure seems like they did, but we don't know who or how much they sold. So it feels like at every turn, I'm stonewalled. The dev isn't talking. I can't trace the wallets. The influencers are staying silent. Now, the thing is, at this point, we kind of know these influencers got in on the pre-sale. We were told as much, but here's the thing. We know where those pre-sales went. That's one cool feature of the blockchain technology. It's public to everyone. Where the money was sent, what those wallets then did with those Save the Kids tokens, exactly when they sold them, if they bought more, etc. It's all out there. The problem is we don't know whose wallets are whose. There isn't some big name on these long blockchain addresses that says like Faze Clan or RiceGum. It's just a bunch of random numbers and letters. And without that key information, there's no way of really telling which influencer sold what and if they were just dupes, you know? Maybe they got in over their heads and simply were fooled like everyone else. Maybe they were victims, right? So we really don't have the full story. So for a day or two, I was just like stuck thinking about how can we prove whose wallets are whose. But then I remember something. These influencers have been deleting tweets, like a lot. Some of them deleted their support of Save the Kids project, but that's not all. They've even deleted other crypto projects that they've promoted and done giveaways. And I started to wonder, what if those projects were also scams? What if, at minimum, they were equally sketchy? What if this wasn't a one-time thing? And what if they left some incriminating evidence in one of their earlier schemes? It's worth a shot because like my other leads were drying up quick. So I just start no-lifing the archives. Tweet after deleted tweet, I'm hunting through, and finally, I notice a pattern of giveaways with some of these guys. They'll say something like, this is the craziest thing I've ever done. I will double your Safe Galaxy wallet. This tweet has now been deleted, but I pulled it up in the archives. And then they pick some winners. You won. Just confirming this is the right address? Maybe you see where this is going. Let's go. Here's my wallet address.
Shit.
This is all we need. Using this wallet, we simply cross-check it at the time of giveaway, see that they got the winnings, and then check who sent it. We then check if that address has Save the Kids tokens and other tokens that these people have promoted in the past. If it's actually FaceK's wallet, it should have both Safe Galaxy, which he's promoting here, and Save the Kids tokens, which he also promotes. And it does. Here's the Save the Kids tokens, and here's the Safe
They're all
Galaxy
archived,
tokens, which
Jack
incidentally he got from the Safe Galaxy deployer, meaning he's not just some random person. He's clearly someone with influence. That's how these tokens do it. They give free tokens to the influencers from the deployer wallet. That's all there is to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I just repeated that process for each influencer, and I found 3 confirmed wallets: FaceK, Faze Jarvis, and Faze Nikan. The others remain a mystery. But you know what this means? It means now that we have their wallet address, which is public, we just didn't know whose public wallet address was theirs. Now that we have that, we can see what they did with their Save the Kids tokens. We can check all their so-called crypto endorsements that they've been doing and find out, do they actually endorse these products or do they dump them immediately on you? So before I show you what they did, just remember, these guys, these influencers, leading up to this token being launched, promotional tweets are sent out, a damn commercial was being made. And remember, it's all to save the kids, right? We're doing this not for money, but to save the kids. This is Faze Jarvis's wallet. He got in the pre-sale and quickly sold out 2/3 of his total holdings within days of the launch. This is Faze Nikan. He immediately sold about 1/3 of his total holdings and then seems to have held on to the rest. But by far, the really bad one was Faze K's wallet. He dumped all of his kids' tokens immediately. Within 24 hours, he went from 6.2 billion tokens to 4 tokens now. That's right. He sold all but 4 tokens. But obviously, what's interesting here is that not all of these influencers acted quite the same way. Faze Nikan sold 1/3 right away, held onto the rest. Faze Jarvis sold 2/3.
He was one of the good ones.
But Faze
You were the chosen one
altogether. Why? Well, I think it has to do with their intentions. Look, I looked pretty extensively over Faze Nikan. And
yeah,
Jarvis's
Gooby, you weren't kidding.
history.
This is a great deep dive.
They do not, in my opinion, have a pattern of malicious selling. What I mean by that is when they get a coin, maybe they'll get some coins, sell some, buy some, and, sell some more, hold on to something like a trader would. And of course, I'm not...
That really sucks for them that he was able to find whose individual wallets belong to each person, because now all of their activity is going to be public knowledge. Like, that's the one thing about the blockchain. It doesn't get erased. So that's there forever now.
Saying that promoting garbage scam coins to your fans is okay, right? It's not. But everything they're doing, it seems like they're not premeditating to sell everything. FaceK, on the other hand, whose wallet we're looking at now, should be called Faze Rug, actually. What I mean by that is that he not only sold Save the Kids instantly, he has a history of doing that to every project or nearly every project he gets involved in. Like, take this coin right here, which is called GameSafe.io. He got these coins, immediately sold them out, and this is the date, okay? So 31 days ago, and then you can see the sell-off was almost immediate. Or take another coin, Safe Galaxy, which he's actually promoted to his fans. He got coins from...
One of the truly insidious parts about all this is these motherfuckers are so rich. Like, if you've got 20 million subs on YouTube, you're a millionaire. Like, you're making millions of dollars every single year, on top of the sponsorships, on top of the winnings you get, on top of everything else. Like, you're making 10 million plus a year. Why did you need to scam your fans on top of everything else? Like, you're already a multi-millionaire. Why did you need to take like millions of your fans and just fucking hold them upside down and shake them for every last fucking cent.
A deployer wallet once again and immediately sells them off. Now, why did he get these free tokens in the first place? Well, it was probably his promotional tweets he did about them. To get Safe Galaxy, follow this guide. Remember to tweet Safe Galaxy with your wallets. I'm in the Telegram group chatting right now. Ask me your questions there. So he's promoting this coin to his followers, telling them how great it is. Meanwhile, his actual actions within his wallet that we can see right here. Again, this is the same wallet that we saw him sell the Save the Kids off in Eclipse. He's just selling everything as fast as humanly possible. Moon Portal, same thing. What I'm trying to say is this is a pattern of deceiving his fans, pumping something and selling it to his fans so he gets the best price. How much?
By the way, so many online influencers do this, by the way. I've seen a ton of them. Like, I don't think like Keemstar is directly doing this pump and dump it the same way, but I've seen him tweeting out like, you know, Dogecoin to the moon, everyone invest in Dogecoin, and then all of a sudden being like, hey, everybody, by the way, I just sold off like half my Dogecoin. I no longer carry it, you know, kind of shit like that.
How much money did he make from it? We'll try to calculate that later. And by the way, if it feels like I'm belaboring this point.
And you can't do this, by the way, with stocks. Like, you cannot have a public platform. Like, you can't be a news anchor and then start your program and be like, all right, everybody, I would like each of you to invest in this very specific stock that I happen to have a lot of money in, and then we're going to inflate the price of the stock, and then at which point we're all going to make a lot of money together. You can't do that.
I am. Faze.
Didn't Pac-Man promote Bitcoin? Promoting something is different than trying to do what they're doing here. This is a pump and dump scheme. Like, they're saying, everybody buy into this coin, it'll make you rich. Once everyone buys in, because you need real money to be able to artificially inflate the price of these coins. They have no inherent value outside of the fact that like people pour real money into them. At which point, once the fans load it up with all their real cash, you then pull out. That's why they're saying, like, you're using the metaphor of the actual rug being pulled out from underneath you.
K has consistently deceived his audience by pushing crypto to them while having a bag of crypto given to him by these coins, I guess, for promotions, and selling it immediately to them. And he'll make videos promoting these tokens like Moon Portal.
Yo, Moon Portal is out right now, guys. You can swipe up and check it out.
He'll also tweet about them like this. Bro. He said, wow, moonportal.io making the Robin Hood of crypto. Great project and great team behind it. I'm with them long-term 100. That's interesting, really. With them long-term 100. Luckily, we can check your wallet to see what you actually did. It looks like you received the funds 37 days and 18 hours ago, or on May 22nd, and it looks like you sold the coin also on May 22nd. So it looks like, FaceK, you may not understand what long-term quite means. Either that, or you're lying to your fans. Which is it? Do you not know what long-term 100 means? Or are you blatantly lying to your fans? This man has 0 portal on him. He had 43 billion, now he has 0. And look, why am I showing you this? Well, a few reasons. Number one, while covering this, some people put out a theory that Save the Kids failed because of a tweet from Nelk that went out.
So they're promoting it, they're telling people that they're ambassadors or whatever. The coin comes out, it starts going up in value, and then Nelk puts out this post. And after that tweet comes out from Nelk, everybody starts panic selling, and the Save the Kids coin plummets down and everyone loses their money.
Okay, so the idea here is that it's all of Nelk's fault for calling out these influencers for what they're doing, and it caused this big panic.
Yeah, I just noticed that. He's wearing a Faze hat. Teehee.
It sounds interesting, but it's completely false, and I want to debunk this because I think this was likely told to Keemstar to just make these influencers seem like they're innocent, but it's false. I know this because we can actually see when the tweet went out, 7:55 June 5th, and FaceK actually started selling before that tweet. As you can see here, he first started selling June 5th as well, but this is UTC time. And adjusting for that, he started selling at 6:05, which is about 2 hours before Nelk would tweet. Now, this proves that some people involved, like FaceK and others, planned to sell from the start. And even without this simple proof, by the way, we know that he would have sold anyway from the start because FaceK always sells from the start. That's what he does with almost all the coins he's promoted before this. Now, the second reason I'm showing you all this evidence is because I absolutely refuse to let anyone spin this into a narrative of like FaceK being naive with crypto, not understanding what he was doing, right? He's innocent. You know, just look at his apology. I want you all to know that I had no ill intent promoting any crypto altcoins. I honestly and naively thought that we all had a chance to win, which just isn't the case. He was naive, guys. This is yet another lie, because if you thought everyone had a chance to win, you wouldn't be running for the exit like someone just shouted fire in these coins, right? FaceK knew he had to be the first one to get out of these coins in order to profit. like he's done so many times before. He sold out of Save the Kids token that he was an ambassador of within 24 hours. Now, I wish I could tell you who else sold and what else they did, because I'm sure the others aren't completely innocent. But for now, a lot of these wallets remain a mystery. But now that we know how these influencers, spent these coins when they sold them, I wanted to count up how much you can make from a rug pull like this, right? That was one of our big questions. So I called up my buddy, Some Ordinary Gamers, to help me calculate how much someone like FaceK stands to make from these crypto promotions. We crunched the numbers by counting how many tokens he sold times the price at that time. And we got a rough estimate of how much you stand to make.
So really, really rough estimate. When you look at the point of sale around the 6th, when the actual thing was going on, the peak of it, I think each calculation ended up being around 29,000, 30,000 if we're being a little bit more liberal on that. But yeah, it's about what we saw for Save the Kids. Now, of course, when you factor in all the other rug pulls, some of them went as high as like 40, 50, 60,000, right? Depending on the severity of that pull. So cumulatively...
Hey, Clipper, ILB, thank you for the 2 gifted subs. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Also, that's it? Y'all were doing this for like $30,000, $40,000 a rug pull? That's all? Again, y'all are making millions and millions of dollars. Why do you have to do this and grift your fans?
If you look at some wallets, some people who are, alleged to be behind multiple accounts, yeah, that's a lot of money.
I mean, were you surprised? I felt like it wasn't as much as maybe I thought.
I think that was per transaction. Okay, so they're doing that per transaction. So what we're looking to the tune of, even if it was for hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if you made $400,000 doing a successful rug pull on your fans, is that worth what is now happening, which is clearly everyone is exposing you for being a huge grifting piece of shit who was just scamming their fans for the last pennies when you're already making millions and millions of dollars? That's the part about this that is just like kind of baffling to me, because they get millions of dollars both from their sponsorships, their corporate sponsorships, their game touring, just by the virtue of having 1 million subscribers on a YouTube channel. They can upload a video and it'll make like $10,000 just by that highlight reel coming out with ad revenue. So why?
That I thought surely they're not risking their reputation for something that's, for an influencer as big as they are, doesn't seem to be like insane.
Yeah, I mean, you got to imagine for people who have entire personalities built around mansions and supercars, right? You're really risking your peak, your great career on 30,000, which is a lot of money, but it's certainly not enough to warrant putting that much risk on you,
What do you think is going to happen to these guys?
I mean, if the SEC wants to investigate, they're gonna get a fine, maybe prison down the line. I mean, the government doesn't screw around when it comes to financial crimes. That I think we know.
There you have it. Somewhere in the range of tens of thousands of dollars per crypto coin that was rugged, sometimes more, sometimes less. But at this point, I have to tell you that FaceK completely denies profiting from Save the Kids token. I reached out to him in preparation for this video, and he said the following, quote, "Overall, the value of the token I purchased is down considerably from my purchase price. I definitely have not profited from Save the Kids token." He also said he paid for some of the expenses. Quote, "I helped pay for the exchange listing or whatever could help it. The purpose of the project is charitable giving. It's in that spirit and with that intent that I was involved and I put capital into it." I don't know if I buy this. Like, okay, let's just say you lost money on this token. I disagree that selling the coins that you own within 24 hours of a charity coin is in the spirit of charitable giving, like you say. Also, there's the small matter of all these other tokens, which he failed to comment on. But even the fact he was able to sell all his tokens in 24 hours brings up sort of an interesting question. Whatever happened to the anti-whale mechanism? Remember, wasn't it supposed to prevent people from selling off this quick? I mean, you were only supposed to sell 20% within 24 hours, so...
Oh yeah, sorry, let me promote. This is a really well-researched video. CoffeeZilla. There we are. CoffeeZilla. It's the watch function now.
What happened? How was he able to sell off this fast? I started to wonder about this, and that's when I got a telegram from someone inside the project who messaged me anonymously. "Hey, Coffee, I remember something. Lucas, the developer, told us before the launch that the owners asked him to modify the anti-whale system from 24 hours to a minute. So they were 100% planning to dump on everyone. If that's true, that's the smoking gun right there. It turns this project from a charity coin with some bad actors that sold off right away into a premeditated..."
I feel like he's being Kyle Kalinske on Jimmy Dore here. You're being very, very kind to something that is very transparently just a scam from the ground up. The one missing piece of the puzzle that doesn't really make sense is the risk versus reward. Again, like, yes, that's a fuck ton of money to me. If you told me that by doing this you'd be getting $40,000, $50,000, $100,000, that's a lot of cash. But if it's to someone who is worth multi millions and who's getting like 10, 15, maybe $20 million a year, why are you doing this nickel and dime shit that is so shady and can effectively destroy your entire career?
Fraud. It turns it from an accidental rug pull into an intentional one. So obviously I immediately started looking through the code because this guy said he heard about it, but he didn't know where to find it. And so I get to digging. Back to the lab again, boys. I can't overstate how much time I wasted looking for this stuff. And yes, it turns out
I like how everyone in chat is like, it's greed, it's capitalism. But I was like, you have to understand, when you're at that level, they could just accept a new chair sponsorship and they'd make more money than they're getting now. Like, all he has to do is wear Nikes, branded Nikes for a year, and he'd make more money than this fucking nickel and dime shit. You know, that's the part of it. Is like, why would you, like, whenever a lawyer talks to you about, like, you know, what you're about to do could be potentially illegal, you have to now judge this based on its merits. What is the risk versus the reward? So how much risk are you going to incur versus how much could you gain from this activity? And you have to like ask yourself, is it going to be worth it? Right at the end of the day. And in this case, it's just laughably like, Zots is a game to them. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the thing. Well, yeah, but blind greed, that's the thing. You could lose everything. You could lose it all, as it seems to be happening right now as this gets more and more exposed. And again, you would make so much more money if they just fucking had a chair sponsor, or like a fucking headphone sponsorship. Even a Skillshare sponsorship probably would have paid more than this nickel and dime stuff.
That Lucas, the developer, had created multiple test coins before launching the main one. In particular interest was Save the Kids Test 2 and the real Save the Kids token. I compared their contracts using BSC Scan, and there was a single change in the code. The old code of Save the Kids Test 2 read that you must wait a full 24 hours before you sell again. The new code, which changed at the last minute, changed this anti-whale to 1 minute. You must wait a minute before you sell again. And this is the only...
Just because they're rich doesn't mean they're smart. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what this all comes down to. Holy shit, this is getting so shady. The code itself was changed to get rid of that whale provision so that big sellers can sell off at once.
Only changed. They changed the token just so they could premeditate this whole thing and almost remove the anti-whale mechanism completely. They turned it from being a code that wouldn't let whales sell off in less than 5 days into a code that lets you sell off in 5 minutes. Again, 5 days, they changed it to 5 minutes right before launch. So obviously I start trying to reach out to Lucas because this is what he seems to have kept from me, right? Like, he acted innocent initially. He didn't tell me about any of this, but this shows that at least he was a part of this, right? He was complicit in this. Finally, I managed to get him into a Discord call where I confronted him. I'm seeing things from you that are deeply troubling in the code. And you went AWOL on me as soon as I talked to you about this tokenomics@gmail.com not existing.
I didn't see you saying that. Okay. Tokenomics@gmail.com does exist.
No, not on PayPal though. You said you got paid 10K at PayPal, and we forgot passworded it, and it doesn't exist.
I got 10K in BNB. Like, that's what I was given from the token directly.
Oh, you said in the Discord.
No, the PayPal is from Redbubble, I believe, but I don't have that.
Then I asked him about this anti-whale change. Lucas, you hard-coded in. So what I mean by you hard-coded in this thing to be a scam is that I know that you changed the anti-whale measures last minute to make it easier to dump on people.
Yep, I know. I've talked about that in all the AMAs.
That's a scam, Lucas. That's a scam.
Coffee, this is what I was told to do. I'm contracted. I don't know what to tell you. This is exactly what I was told to do.
I also asked him if he doesn't know the creator of this project, how did he even get involved in the first place? This random guy named Manny reached out to him and he believed him? Very coincidental that you would just be like picked out of like a rabbit out of a hat and you're so close and you have no association.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, so there's no explanation for why that is?
I don't know. They're randomly picked out of the hat. This was a huge surprise to me. Wait, I remember when I was talking to Manny and he said that we're going to have influencers on this project. I think I can find this picture actually. And I was like, you're going to have influencers on this project. He's like, yep. And he started naming names. And one of them was K. And I was saying, I'm sorry, but like, obviously I don't believe you.
He told me, no, actually he required proof. And this is what it was.
This was me being proven that this was actually influencers were on board on this. And I was like, oh, okay. Obviously I would work for somebody like that. Like, I don't want to work for a project where there's like people behind it. That's crazy. It's going to be huge. If I had, I guess my argument would be if I had direct connections, then I wouldn't have to be sent a picture like this that was like to prove to me So I guess that is what I'm trying to show.
It says Lucas and Manny.
Yep.
Lucas and Manny on this. To your mind, does this mean that Fraser was in on this from the get-go, like even on the premeditation of this app? Because it doesn't seem like he was brought in as an afterthought. It seems like he was in this from the beginning.
I assume all the influencers probably were in this from the beginning because those were already lined up like straight off the bat.
Wow.
Damn.
So FaceK was in it from the beginning. Now, I confronted FaceK on this and asked him how he knew Manny and who Manny was. He denied knowing him. He said, I believe he is a friend of the dev or a dev. I'm not sure exactly who he really is. Now, that's funny because the dev says he doesn't know Manny at all. Manny knew FaceK, and FaceK took a picture with the guy's name on it. So
Oh, yeah. Hey, plausible deniability, bro. Come on. Anyway, anyone can forge that. It's not his name. Why did I do this?
Find this pretty hard to believe you don't know a guy and then you're writing his name on paper. I also asked Lucas who was behind the anti-whale change. Obviously, this is one of the most malicious parts of all the code. He told me it was sort of talked about in a group of a lot of influencers. It was a huge group chat, which he was later kicked out of talking about the anti-whale thing. Do you remember which influencers were telling you that you need to basically speed up the time that they can basically dump more of their...
So the only one I remember because he's on my screen, I know Smeef was in that group chat. I don't know if he was one of the main ones who was like actually messaging it, but I know there was a general consensus of them being concerned. So they weren't the ones telling me to lower it. They were very concerned with, and I was just trying to explain, this is good for the product, like blah, 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 like 24 hours good.
Why do you think they were concerned about that?
Well, I mean, obviously now, probably because they want to dump right away.
Another interesting moment of the call was he told me that a YouTuber named Joel Morris was also involved. Now, Joel Morris is the creator of Xcademy Token. He's another one of these guys claiming to be serious and trustworthy with crypto. So what did this guy do when he got in the pre-sale? Joel Morris was involved as well. Do you remember what address he gave you? He should have given you an address to like check, right?
Yep.
Can I see it?
I have it.
Let's do a quick...
Fairquad 67, thank you.
Oh, he immediately dumped. Oh, man.
Or Firequad,
Looks like he took... Joel Morris took advantage of your little crypto rule here.
4 hours, everything right away.
And then within, it looks like, within a very short amount of time, he completely dumped his bags. He sold immediately to drive the price of a kid's charity token even further into the dirt. By the way, you'll notice here that Joel Morris took advantage of the change in the anti-whale code because he was selling literally every minute. So clearly, these influencers knew that the code has changed. Now, honestly, this whole thing is so vomit-inducing. Like, this developer's telling me he was misunderstood and is just following orders. You have FaceK saying he didn't make money despite trying his hardest to be the first.
And again, you're doing it for such small amounts compared to like your accrued wealth. Again, they could have made more money just by accepting a single chair sponsorship than all of this fucking grifty ass shady shit.
To sell off. You've got basically everyone claiming to be innocent, but you couldn't design a bigger token scam and a bigger commercial for it. The biggest influencers in the world all saying that it's such a great opportunity. Now, the last person we need to talk about is Sam Pepper. This is an old YouTuber who, according to Reddit posts, now works with Faze. Apparently, he's their camera guy or comes up with video ideas or something. The point is, he's close by them, he talks to them, etc. He kept coming up in my investigation, even though he wasn't a public part of the project. He apparently was one of the people promoting this thing on Reddit and creating the mod team. I was told as much by the mods themselves.
The biggest thing that I know is that Typo, who was a mod, asked me to be a mod before launch. I know that him and some of his guys were brought in by Pepper to mod this stuff up.
So Pepper was brought in to mod this thing up. So what does Sam know? How is he involved? And how much did he really organize? A different mod reached out from the group and told me that the group had been talking and realized that maybe Sam was the common link. They said in a conversation that Sam handled the pre-sale, as far as I know. And that, quote, Sam deleted his Telegram. Why did he do that? I had someone actually reach out to Sam, and he said that he also had no idea who Manny was. He seemed to be in charge of finding the mod team and says that he's not the mastermind. After all, FaceK apparently brought him on board. Quote, that makes no sense. How would I already be on board if I found out from K about the project? When I found out about it from K, he was already an ambassador. Wait, so FaceK got Sam Pepper in the coin, which was later...
Mighty Duck Shoes finally explained. No one else in chat could, but now someone has finally explained it. Thank you, Mighty Duck Shoes. You don't understand, Lance. It's not about the money. It's about getting off. And that actually clicks with me. Now I understand, all right? It all makes sense. This whole entire scheme has come into fruition. I understand. It was always about the cooming all along. All right.
Confirmed by FaceK himself. He said they asked me if I have chat mods, but I don't. I knew Sam had mods, so I asked for his, not for Sam himself. Now, bear in mind, Sam Pepper doesn't have a great reputation around crypto. He's known as Scam Pepper by some of the cryptocurrency community for all of the rug pulls that he promotes himself. But nevertheless, it's all leading back to FaceK.
Wait a minute. If Brian Lefebvre is dead, then who the hell are these people?
Just a couple of people who totally got off, bro.
What? You did? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Just during this?
Woohoo! Big time, yeah. Oh, yeah, I got off a couple times when we were watching the video presentation. Then when he called me out for not being Brian Lefebvre, woo, that got me big time.
Did it?
Oh, man, did I get off. Yeah, and then he showed the finger. That was the big one.
The dead finger got you off.
That was the climax, really.
I am so confused.
Oh, my God, it was amazing. It was mostly sexual.
God damn you. Okay, you know what? I could have gotten some cash out of these men. I could have gotten a free pair of shoes, but no, you said hang in there. I'll help you get off. I'll help you get off, D. I'll show you how to do it. And then you leave me all on my own to try and just get off all by myself.
I did everything that I could. I don't understand why you couldn't get off. That's not my fault. Some women just don't know how.
What?
I don't know what it is. You know, sometimes it's only the guy who gets off.
So that's basically the entire Faze ordeal in a nutshell. That explains all of this. That's the sum total of the last like hour and a half of what we've been watching. That is it in summation.
Hey, do you like movies? Do you like Serfs? Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and VK Jehannam, we are prepared to commit human sacrifices for your eternal glory. To our monarchs, the Tim Caucus and Tom Spiker, we are humbled to be your oafish jesters, clowning around in your royal court. To our lords, Evan Nudie, Tofox, Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeff Lamb, and Alexander Thaler, we shall proudly carry your standard onto the battlefield and die for your precious land. To our esteemed Knights of the Round Table, Dark Puppy, Jenna Towell, Anna Loves Riley, Quiet 185, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Chronic to Hemphog, The Great Pudini, Bongini, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, J. Fraser Cartwright, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glass, we raise our swords, and we salute you.